felt very quick and rushed. Oh, my ears got hot.
And then, so.
I was like, what was this?
Ooh. The most valuable advice is to move slow. That's my most valuable advice. The slower you move, the better. But it's not just like, movement, but also thinking wise too.
Hi, I'm Kris Hillman, and welcome to the first ever episode of Hot Chicks, brought to you by Sarom Hong.
I'm Sarom Hong, and I'm with Aaliyah Group at Circle Real Estate.
And Angie Sandoval.
My name's Angie Sandoval. I am a loan officer with J&J Financial.
As we have the experts in the house today, we're going to be not only asking you hard questions, we're going to be going through some insanely hot sauce with the wings to go along with it.
How hot is it?
You will find out. So Angie, can you lead us off and tell us what we're going to be starting with?
Yep, I've got we've each got all 10 wings on our plate, so 1 through 10, but one starts here and progressively gets spicier. So our number one is supposed to be easy peasy, although we're on empty stomachs this morning, so we'll see how that goes.
No farting.
I can't make promises. So,
You ready to dive in?
I think so. Are you ready to dive in?
I'm ready.
Okay.
I'm hungry.
Perfect.
Okay.
This is breakfast.
Cold wings.
Ooh.
What inspired your career choice?
So I.
No, you take a bite.
You
Take
a bite.
Yeah,
You take a bite and then you answer.
Okay. That actually pretty good.
Ooh.
Okay.
You get me hungry.
I became a loan officer by accident. Like all young people who don't know what they want to do. Okay, that one wasn't bad at all, but it's only number one. I was 18. I was going to college. I didn't know what I wanted to do with my life. That progressively took me from one position to another, from working at Washington Mutual when that was still a thing, to moving over to a loan office as a receptionist, to a receptionist as an escrow company, and then from there to escrow assistant, escrow officer. I think I was about 23 years old, 24 at this time. And I had a close friend who said, "You should try mortgages." And I said, I don't really know if I could do it. And she says, "You've already done, the backside of working at a bank plus escrow. So yeah, you should try it." And so fast forward all these years later, I'm still here. Survived the 2008 crash, and I'm all the better for it.
Okay. Let me take this bite. Okay.
Yours has a little hair on it. Look at that. Comes a little bonus.
That wasn't bad. It's actually really good. For me, I always wanted to be my own boss. And I wanted to have control of my schedule and also make a salary that doesn't have a glass ceiling. And the courage for me to become one was after helping my brother not win his case, but overcome his case with his when he was younger. So we had to go to court several times, and I didn't go to college, so I don't have a lot of education background, but it challenged me to defend his case up against a prosecutor. And so after winning what I felt like it was winning, it gave me a lot of courage to come into real estate and defend for my clients. And that's my career choice.
What is the most important skills for success in this role?
Wing eating. Do you smell your food? I always smell my food.
Wing eating is definitely a skill. You better get all of it.
That was not bad. I think this role takes quite a bit of experience. You have to have life experience when you're working with clients who come from all kinds of backgrounds. Income structures are different. They're just what they're looking for is different goals. And a lot of people, loan officers, are more of a prescription type loan officer, and that just means you come in and they tell you what you qualify for and they send you on your way. That's not something that I believe is best for the client. So I believe life experience, many years in this industry, the ups, the downs, knowing how to prepare people for moving forward, because a mortgage is a 30-year commitment at a minimum, because most people refinance all that. So I think that probably is your number one most important skill.
How do you manage a challenging client relationship?
Ooh.
By eating wings.
Okay. That's nice. How do you overcome a challenging client? It's tough. Every level of different clients, it ranges from their history, their relationships, and this is talking about, like, it's psychological, right? So how do I handle it? I really analyze every little detail of going back to the story, and it helps me understand how I can move forward with it. And having my significant other also be part of it helps me breathe a little bit better too, because I can share these pain points with him, and he also supports on giving different strategy or options to deal with my emotional challenges with the client, because it is really hard. We are in an emotional business because it deals with a lot of money, and it's a big decision for many people. Either they're selling or buying. So having a lot of patience and listening to the clients is so necessary. Sometimes they don't want to hear what you need to tell them, and that's the hardest part. But I'm not really good at sugarcoating my words. As we all know. I'm spicy. So I am very direct, and I try to be true to myself when I am. But it also kicks me in the butt at the same time too. But I think over time, the clients understand where I'm coming from, and I have their best interests. So, we overcome it. It's just tough, but we all overcome it, and then they end up liking me at the end. No matter what, just irresistible.
Well, speaking of spicy, how are we doing so far?
I want to drink a little bit of milk, but I hear that that's like ripping off the Band-Aid or whatever. Breaking the seal? So I'm going to wait.
Okay.
But it's working. My lips feel tingly.
What do you enjoy most about working with clients in the mortgage industry?
Oh, that one opened up my nasal passages. It's hard not to get it on the lips. Okay, that one's a little friendlier. I love that there's people on the other side of an application. A lot of times people come through and I get comments like, my last loan officer wasn't as personable, or it just felt very quick and rushed. Oh, my ears got hot. Give me a second. Wow. So anyway, I love getting to know people. I love to find out their stories. Where are they going with this? Sometimes it surprises them because they'll be like, I'm just trying to get a loan application. And I'm like, I understand that, but there's going to be so much more that comes your way. Oh my God. It's getting bad. I'm going to be like Taraji Henson. I'm going to tap out early. Anyway, so
you can't have my milk. You can't have my milk.
Know them, finding out where they want to go with all of this, helping them understand it's a 30-year commitment and more. And so I just love learning their stories and what makes them them. And then sometimes we click and we become friends. Other times we don't. But I always want them to know that professionally and on a human level, I have a very high respect for the people that come into my path. And that's my favorite part about working with people, is letting them know that whether they qualify, whether they don't, they're still human beings. And I just love getting to know their stories.
That's
Oh
why
my
I
God.
like you.
If I start crying, it's not because of the question. That one was tough.
It's because she loved me.
Saram, you ready?
Yes, I'm ready, but I'm not ready for that. I don't
Keep that
have
chicken
I
going.
don't have makeup proof.
I don't either. It's gonna get interesting.
Can you share the most valuable advice you have ever received?
Ooh. The most valuable advice is to move slow. That's my most valuable advice. The slower you move, the better. But it's not just like, movement, but also thinking wise too. Because sometimes when we're in a room, we like to like just, talk fast or explain things fast so that people, think that we're smart. But if we think slower and we, digest what we're about to say, it's the biggest advice I think to, to anyone listening is pause, think, and then talk. So even in action, like when it comes to investing in real estate as well too, we like to act really fast. We like to compete with our neighbors or our friends and keeping up with the Jones. But that's also gives us like, living their path, not your path. You want to make sure that you do things your way. And I think you should always stick to your speed, which is go a little slower than other people so you can watch what other make a mistake on and you can correct it when you make your own path or approach something that's brand new to you.
Nice. How you doing?
I'm okay. I'm crying.
You're not drinking milk yet. You're doing better than me. I've looked down at my plate multiple times like, I have to keep going. Oh my God.
Speaking of keeping going,
Oh wow.
ready for the next one?
Yes.
All right. Let's get it going.
Small bites.
Can you share a memorable success story from your career?
I sure can. Ooh, that one smells good. It better not be deceiving.
That number 3.
Whoa, that one's good. I'm afraid
Don't
it's
lie.
good. I'm not. You can tell if I'm lying. I have one story that I absolutely love, and I think it just it helps tell my dedication to my craft. I had a client many years ago. This was after the crash 2008. So if you guys remember what was going on around that time, it was a lot of turmoil. And I had a client, loans were difficult. Okay, I'm just going to be real. They were really difficult back then as things were trying to get back on the rails. I had a client who was a VA client. I love working with my vets. I'll do anything and everything I can to help them get across the finish line. He was very well qualified. He just happened to be overseas. He was in Afghanistan. And so, he was buying a home for his family, his wife, his children here in California. And the difficulty was, number one, communication. So I got him started before he deployed, and then he ended up being deployed during the escrow because his wife was looking. Now, we had already worked it out with his commanding officer, the embassy, and so he would call me once a week and on like a sat phone, which I thought was so stinking cool. Then we get fast forward to we're getting through the process, and now it's loan document signing. And before he'd left, he hadn't done a power of attorney, so we couldn't have his wife sign on his behalf. So anyhow, we couldn't reach him. It was about 2 weeks that went by, and there was radio silence. We couldn't get a hold of him. His wife couldn't get a hold of him. The whole platoon was quiet. So everyone was kind of like, oh my God, what is happening? What is going on? It's not like we could internet that and say, what's going on with platoon number? So anyhow, we finally get a call back, and he'd been trapped in a cave, basically, with other vets than they were fighting. And so he couldn't get out to get to the embassy. And so we had a notary from the embassy go to his location on site, not to the cave, but to active duty area to get him notarized and then get the documents back. It was insane. I had to coordinate with our funding department. Typically, when you sign your loan documents, they got to come back. The original copies have to come back. But in this case, he's overseas. So we had to fund on an electronically scanned copy while we waited for the originals to come back. And we were still able to make that work. And I'd say that was my absolute most crazy, like hardest file, not because it was hard to qualify, but there was just so many moving parts. And it ended up being a huge success at the end.
Wow.
I have a follow-up question. Can I? Without wings. How
Okay.
long did it take for you to close that?
Thankfully, we were slightly over 30 days because of the 2-week gap that he was MIA, literally.
Wow.
But the listing side was very, understanding and considerate. And, like I said, anything we can do for vets to help them along, especially in that client situation.
That's amazing.
Yeah. I promise, 4's not bad. I'll go back in. for
Okay, because this one is like, nose is running.
more. Number 3 was hell.
Who was?
What is your view on money?
Man.
That one's good, right?
You want some?
I got my own things.
My view on money. Money is very. It's an interesting vehicle. You see different people treat money the way they treat themselves. If you look at money
Yeah.
and how they purchase and how they treat it and handle it, you can tell a lot about themselves and also their habits. And for me, how I view it for myself, I look at it as always an opportunity. If I have a dollar, I have an opportunity. So if that opportunity,
I like that.
to buy a glass of milk, I think about how long will it last, and how, I analyze everything. So money to me is an opportunity. If I have $50, it's an opportunity. How can I stretch it? I always think about stretching it and how long that thing lasts. Like if I were to buy a Walmart, piece of art, how long will this trend last of this art, So for me, money is an opportunity to make it last and I
Stretch it.
stretch it. I told my nephew recently about money because and I hope you're listening wherever you are. Money, you have to buy something with it. Yes, you can keep it in your, bank account and save it and get, high yield savings. You can work. You also make money. What do you do with it where it matters? You can let it sit or grow more out of it. And there was a recent post I put up is that when you work, you make money. You have money, you buy material things, it doesn't last long, right? But if you buy asset, that asset also can go into, wealth building, and wealth building gives you freedom. So for me, I'm always looking for freedom because I don't like to work that hard, okay? Forever. And I want to give myself the opportunity to retire whenever I want.
What makes you different from other loan officers?
That one doesn't smell serious.
Does it have hair?
I think I gave you all the hairy ones.
No, thanks.
Oh, thank God. That one's not bad. What makes me different from other loan officers is that the process starts with a conversation, right? When people buy a house, they're expecting it to be just this situation, this moment of time in their lives, right? But what they don't realize, and this is the part where I feel like I shine, there is a before, there is a during, and there's an after. And how good is that loan officer in the before, the during, and the after? Because if they're only focused on the during, again, it's the prescription loan officer, here's your pre-approval, call me when you find a house, good luck. And then there's the during, they're on top of it, great. Do you hear from them afterwards? I feel like when you get a house, there's so much that goes on. There's so many changes. Your mortgage statement comes and your first payment is due, and then they screw up the property taxes, the county does. And who do you call? Who are you supposed to call? When your lender's checking in on you and asking you, hey, how's it going after a few months, when the dust has settled after your first payment, and that's where I think I shine. I'm very personable in the beginning, not because I need to be your friend, but I want you to know that the communication lane between us is wide open. I want you to tell me, how are you feeling? What are you hoping for? Are you disappointed with the pre-approval? Why? How do we work through that? Then I'm super present during the process and after the process, having conversations with you on what to expect, what comes next, 6 months later, a year later, your birthday, you matter to me. So that's, I think, what sets me apart from other loan officers.
I like that.
Is it the wing?
No, it's you.
Where do your awesome clients come from?
My best clients, awesome client comes from my past clients. They know the experience that they get with me. Oh my God. A lot of the clients I serve are usually people I meet at open houses through Instagram. And then, so, they referred me. I have a lot of referral clients, and I'm so thankful for them because they know that I'll go, all the way for them before, present, and the future. I treat my clients as if I'm in their shoes all the time, and I feel like if I'm not in their shoes, then I'm not a good match, Some clients I can't get into their shoes. They might be too big or too small, but and I try to fit in their shoes because, once we do, then, we're on the same page. So that's what I do. I try to meet that.
So we're going to do a little bit of a speed round, but they're not going to come from me. Questions are going to come from each one of you, and you're going to be asking each other.
How are you different now in your career than you were when you first started?
Ooh. Ow!
Eat the wing, girl. Eat
Okay,
the wing.
okay. That's a good question. How I am now compared to before?
Oh, one's not.
Great question.
Oh, it gets you later.
I think I was more patient
In the beginning?
in the beginning. I'm a lot more patient as a new agent, and I was also younger too. So as you get older, you gain experiences, and you cut out the bullshit,
Yeah.
And so now I cut a lot of bullshit out of my life, and and if I do that for myself, I do that for others too. So, because I think that, time is of the essence.
Absolutely.
And, when you're younger, time is not of the essence at all. And you just kind of like, but as you get older, like, hey.
That's right.
It's 5 minutes, homie.
That's
So, yeah, that's.
All right, your turn. We're moving on to wing 6.
Man.
What's your question?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This is 6. This is
This
yours.
is 7.
That's
7,
yours.
8, 9. I say I can't do math. The wings have messed with my brain. This is 7.
It's
All right, your
7.
turn to ask me a question.
Yeah. How is it like to be in the spotlight?
Oh, I'm throwing stuff at him. What do you mean spotlight?
Being, putting your face on flyers and coming out,
Coming out.
doing your own, like this is not very common that you do, with
No,
posting
it's not. And the,
sharing.
the thing about people need to know about me is that I am very knowledgeable about mortgages. I love connecting with people, but I've never been great with social media. Something that I know I'm told I need to work on so people get to see who I am, what I'm about. And I feel like there's so many facets to who I am, and capturing them on social media, sometimes I feel like I can get lost. You can get lost in that, right? So I have a husband, I have 2 children, I have a home, I have a dog, I have chickens. Like, my life's very full.
Chicken?
I got chickens. These did not come from my chickens, but...
We're hot chicks.
yeah.
Do you have hot chicks at home?
During the summer, recently they were, poor girls. So anyway, I just have a lot going on, but it is something that I want to start to try to step out more into comfortably, and make sure it's important because my clients don't get to come over and see and find out what I'm about. So it's not that I'm uncomfortable with it, it's just not something I'm used to doing. So it's been hard to get into the habit of filming videos or... flyers is easy peasy.
Right.
All right, number 8. My turn to ask you a question. Okay. So, do you believe that when somebody's choosing a real estate agent to work with, do you believe that that real estate agent should know how to walk the walk and talk the talk in terms of if they're going to be giving advice about how to purchase a home, should they have already purchased a home themselves?
Wow. Okay. This is how I perceive and view, things in this business, especially in, the matter of purchasing a big, big, big ticket item, in your life. Because there's two parts to it. Because, when I became a real estate agent, when I was 25,
You had not owned a home yet?
I was still young, brand new chicken. 25. I think you just have to have some business
Acumen?
business experiences, ran your own business, take chances in your life, risk. And even if you haven't purchased a home yet, but those experiences, like for me, I ran an IT business for over 10 years. I work on my own accounting. I wore so many hats in the small business. And, understand the LLC components of that small business before I even became a real estate agent, and had partners. So I think that, when you have those type of experiences, it makes you stronger and, absolutely better.
So you're not saying it's a requirement, but it is a suggestion.
It's not a requirement, but it is a suggestion that you should at least take some hardcore risk before becoming a real estate agent, because you're giving advices.
Yeah.
You're not giving CPA advices or, like legal advices, but these are financial advices. You are going to come into financial, conversations with your clients. And I think also, I do believe that you should practice what you preach, because if you do, teach people how to do things, you should at least know how to do them yourself, or on your way on doing it, so you can't just go around and just give anyone's advices. I think that's just no.
What you're saying is life experience. Having life experience is important.
Yeah.
All right, number 9. I'm up. Your turn.
Okay. Oh man.
This one smells good.
Okay, not bad.
No, number 3 I think was still the worst.
Yeah.
I don't know if somehow snuck in there. I poured 10 on number 3.
I think it's number 10 on 3. Do you think females are competitive in the financial industry, and do they make better loan officers or better real estate agents?
I think women are extremely competitive in the financial sector, period. And they have to be. They have to have more edge, because they're competing against men, and our world is still very much a man's world. And so a woman in the financial industry has to be better than a man. They have to know more. They have to be more confident, but play the fine line of, too overly confident comes off as cocky and unattractive. So they have to play demure. But yes, I do believe they have to be more adept in mortgages, in being a real estate agent, confident, and understanding.
So you're saying they have to show up more than male counterpart when it comes to
yes. 100%.
position.
And I have seen it in relationships. I've seen it in working with people men versus women. Not to say that men don't. I have some male agents that I work with that are phenomenal at what they do, and they really care. I think it comes down to personality type, right? Somebody who's empathetic and cares about other people genuinely versus people who are in it just to earn that dollar, and see it as a job. So women, we need to be more empathetic than a man does. Okay.
Okay.
Number
this
10.
is our last one.
I know, this one has a hair on it. I don't
Okay.
like that.
Oh, I got a hair too. What kind of wig did you get? Is this from the backyard?
I know, right? No, my girls are bigger than this. I wonder what size chickens these come
Is it
from.
called Jessica?
These are like little, no,
Is
these
it
are baby
Peppa?
chickens?
Oh, wow.
I'm just glad they're not from your yard.
Oh, hello. Okay.
This does have a kick.
These are 25,000 Scoville. So the last like 3. Oh, that one's not friendly.
So that's a proper 10.
No, I think 3
Add
was the
wings.
worst.
3 was the worst.
And supposedly 3 was only 1240 Scoville. Oh no, 10 wasn't that bad. 3 was the absolute worst. I do not recommend this hot sauce to anyone. That wasn't that bad.
No.
Oh, we didn't ask a question. Is it my turn to ask her a question, huh? I'm just so happy to make it to the finish line.
This milk tastes good.
I keep
I
hitting
hope
my
we're
teeth.
entertaining.
I lied. 10 is not that great. So, one last thing I want to leave our audience with is, moving forward, if somebody was trying to select to work with a real estate agent, what would you say to them in helping them decide who they pick to work with?
How do I help them pick their real estate agents?
Yeah. What's advice to people, like what they should be looking for to pick a real estate agent?
Yeah, I mean, like, when I think of that question, I think about somebody who's like, maybe someone I can't help and they're like out of state and they're looking for an agent, because if they're in California, it's me. But yeah, I would think that listen carefully on the words they choose to use. And you can tell a lot by people, the first 5 minutes. Mm-hmm. Some people like to hear, what they want to hear, and that's just I get uncomfortable with that, or they have a script, so I think if they sound like they have a script.
I'm putting my lips in the milk. I'm sorry.
You just did that?
They're a little hot. I'm not gonna
like
lie.
a cat. So yeah, I think if how I would, I can't even talk. Is there, do they sound like they're like, like they're reading out of a script, or, are they being, present and natural? Because I had a client that I was consulting yesterday on the fly, and this was a referral from, that's another thing too. Agents like to send referrals to me, and I love you guys. You guys are
that speaks volumes. By the way,
we have each other
people.
back, and we understand how hard this industry is. So when they do that, they know, I will take it to the end. But I was consulting a client on the phone yesterday, and he was not like a typical client. It was fun because it's challenging when the client is very just direct, and he's like, I don't want no agent to open the house for me and talk about no chef chicken. And he goes, I don't want that. I don't want that agent to be
I don't want chickens in my
telling me
kitchen
what
either.
I want to hear. I don't want that. Just leave me alone. I will kick her to the curb.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, and I was like, okay, because we started off.
So he didn't want the fluffy.
He doesn't want the fluffy, because I started with the typical questions, and my question is, sometimes it could be corny. I can tell you that, with my consultation, I would say, so what is your vision? What's your dream?
Yeah.
And he was like, screw you.
He's
He
like,
said,
kick
screw
that
you.
too. Yeah.
Yeah, so, but we hit it off because, I started to say a couple of things that, worked for him, and he liked the word shit, so just personality. Yeah, you have to have, natural personality around your clients.
So what I hear you saying is that advice you would give to somebody looking to choose a real estate agent is
Someone's real,
real, but making sure they know what they're doing.
Yeah.
What does that look like though? How do you know they know what they're doing?
I think that some people come off across very professional, but they don't say the right thing. They're not saying the right thing, and it's just a sales script. I think don't judge people because they don't say the right thing too. If they're saying if they don't have a complete sentence, or maybe their grammar is not on point, I don't have the perfect English. Sometimes my accent come out because I'm half Cambodian, half Chinese, so I sound ghetto, or because I'm from Long Beach. So there's a lot of layers, and so don't judge them because of that. Give them a chance and see what they come with, because just the degrees, USC or whatever plaque on their office doesn't mean a damn thing.
No, that mean life experience.
Yeah.
Okay. I used to always say, lending is changing lives one loan at a time. Was a catchphrase I liked.
I would say, you want me to be on the journey with you or not? Are we gonna go and do this or not?
Check yes or no.
Yes. You like me? Check yes. No? Check no. Let's go.